Hey guys, this is Cam315 back at it with another video for you guys, and I'm back with another Bakugan episode review for you guys. And this time we are talking about Bakugan episode 8. So pretty much this episode finishes off the Jenny and Jewelz battle. At the same time, Drago explains pretty much the urgency of the task at hand and what the entire plot for the first season is structured around. So let's get into it, and let's start off with the battle where we last picked off at. So where we last picked off at in the battle is Preyas got done being, well, Preyas, and yeah. So anyways, that's when freaking Jenny was pretty much telling Dan, I think it's time for us to spend some time together, Danny boy. So pretty much, you know, that, and the fight pretty much goes the way of Jenny and Jewelz because they end up using combination attacks in terms of the correlations between attributes. And they use the correlations between the attributes of Aquas and Subterra, since on the pretty much on the attribute list, they're pretty much diagonally, you know, correlated with each other. And by using it, they get the upper hand on a few of they get the upper hand, I think, on one of Dan's Bakugans and stuff like that. Which increases their strength and everything. In the meantime, you know, Marucho has a good idea. They're like, well, if they're gonna do correlations of attributes, then hey, let's do it too. You got Pyrus, I have an Aquas Bakugan, and since Preyas can change attributes, if he transforms into a Chaos Preyas, we can be able to use a 3 attribute correlation between Pyrus, Chaos, and Aquas, and that will give us a huge increase in power pretty much. So that's the thing. So hey, he throws down Preyas, and well, he actually ends up transforming into Darkus against, I believe, Jewelz Subterra Saurus, which kind of messes up their entire plan. But at the last second, Marucho then remembers that he can stack a correlation of Pyrus and Darkus, and that gives Pyrus the extra boost he needs to be able to win the fight and escape from being defeated. And it was hilarious because Dan and frickin' Marucho were like, you idiot, you almost got yourself killed, and even Drago's like, you're frickin' reckless, you damn idiot, pretty much, and stuff like that. Which it was frickin' hilarious, and it goes to show you that Preyas, he doesn't take things nearly as seriously as they should be. And like I said, that's why I say he's the trickster, the jokester amongst the Bakugan partners. He's kind of a hilarious, funny type of dude, and he doesn't know when to get serious at the right moment. So yes, but because of this, Jewelz only has 1 Bakugan left, and then what makes it where Jenny gets 1 Bakugan left is early in the fight, she threw down 2 Aquas Bakugan, and pretty much Drago was reminding Dan, he's like, Dan, you need to pay attention. Look what they're setting up. And pretty much Dan remembers back to when he fought Rikimaru in the 4th episode, I believe, 3rd or 4th episode, I believe. You know, he recalls the time when Rikimaru used pretty much that tsunami ability to take out all the Bakugan in the field. Well, little too late, because at the time of the rotation, it was Jenny's time to roll again. She brings out her Aqua Siege and ends up activating the Tsunami ability, which takes out all the Bakugan on the field. So pretty much, Marucho has 2 Bakugan left. Dan, Jenny, and Jewelz all have 1 Bakugan left. So pretty much what happens is, excuse me, Dan throws down a gate card. He puts Drago into the matchup. He puts Drago into the matchup, and then Jewelz puts out her ace Bakugan, which is Centiploid. That's her ace Bakugan, while Jenny's ace Bakugan is Aqua Siege. So activates the Dan activates the gate card, gives Drago a boost in power. But the thing is, Jenny uses 2 abilities to boost her power, as well as the second ability she used made it to where Aqua Siege can get involved in the battle, making it pretty much a triple threat, 2-on-1 battle. But thanks to Marucho having the smart thinking to put down another correlation between Aqua's and Darkus ability card, it gets Freya's in the matchup, transforms into Darkus. Pretty much the combined abilities make it to where they're higher than the Siege and the Centiploid. And then again, Drago finishes it off with a Drago pretty much finishes off with a boosted dragon. The one interaction I like when Drago and Preyas are fighting together in this whole battle, Drago's pretty much saying, I'm getting sick and tired of your bullshit, man. Can you stop? And Preyas really can't help himself. But because of it, Dan and Marucho, they end up winning. Again, Dan's companion battler finishes with only losing one Bakugan to the Doom Dimension, so I have to question his damn strategy and shit like that. But hey, it's just me, and stuff like that. So yeah, pretty much the battle's done. Rinway's like, so how'd it go? And pretty much the Dan and Marucho say, yeah, we won. It's, you know, stuff like that. And you know, it's kind of funny when the brawlers don't like watch the battle and they go on to check, oh, how'd the battle go? You should see it if your freaking friends are on their knees, like legitimately like, what the hell happened? If they're just still standing up straight, like, good, then they won the battle, which is funny enough. But the thing is, Marucho kind of tells Jenny and Jewelz, like, I think you guys shouldn't be listening to Masquerade. He's not a good influence. But, you know, if there is something, if you guys want to, you know, follow good examples, hey, follow us and everything. Jenny and Jewelz pretty much say, oh, you know what? Yeah, who cares about that Masquerade guy? You guys are cool dudes. But they realize that they got to get back to their concert, so they pretty much run off while dropping the Masquerade Bakugan shooters and stuff like that. So they're back to being good people and stuff like that because they were misguided by Masquerade. So yes. But pretty much after the battle's over, Drago's pretty much telling the other brawlers like how sick and tired he's getting of Masquerade's antics and everything. So that's when the brawlers all have a meeting collectively in Marucho's room, and pretty much that's when Drago pretty much explains what the hell is going on, what the mission needs to be, and who are pretty much the people behind the mission, behind the brawlers. So that the brawlers have to eventually stop. So pretty much, you know, Drago goes on to make the mention that the Bakugan hail from the world of Vestrioa, and they all live in the 6 different attribute worlds, and stuff like that. You see, what happened, the thing that keeps balance in our world is 2 cores. The silent core and I forgot the freaking other core. The Infinity Core. The Infinity Core and the Silent Core. The Infinity Core pretty much is everything positive and it exudes positive energy, while the Silent Core exudes negative energy. Drago pretty much goes on to tell the others, like, there was this selfish Bakugan by the name of Naga who wanted all the power of the cores to himself, and because of it, it threw all of Vestrioa into disarray and everything. Because of him trying to absorb the Silent Core, it backfired on him, and pretty much since the Silent Core is all negative energy, it pretty much, the waves it gave off affected all the Bakugan with negative energy, and that's why some of the Bakugan are acting out of control and they're kind of evil and stuff like that. And Perez kind of even goes into his whole backstory of like how he was pretty much just chilling in Vestrioa battling, but all of a sudden he got transported to this world, which it gives the reasons. And so yeah, and because of it, this is what set the Bakugan to the human world. And pretty much Dan and the others put 2 and 2 together is because the events of what Naga caused, that's how the Bakugan cars were able to come to this world, as well as the other Bakugan were able to be transpired into this world, and stuff like that. And even Drago makes the mention, like, yeah, you know, when that all happened, you know, and Naga did what he did stupidly, that's when you and I came across while you were battling, and that's when Dan's like, oh shoot, my vision was correct and everything. Now, Drago goes on to make the mention to the brawlers of saying the one catch we have here is the fact that apparently there was a human that worked alongside Naga to be able to help him try to achieve his goals and twist his mind. And apparently, this human went by the name of Michael. Now, another interesting tidbit Tigrera also made, because Runa asked her, like, so did the same thing happen to you? And Tigrera's like, yeah, the same thing did happen to me. I came over to the human world shortly after Drago did the same thing. But the one interesting tidbit that I saw was that I saw the Infinity Core pretty much being transported to the human world and stuff like that. So pretty much but going back to this whole thing, so they're like, so this Michael character happened, and apparently he's a doctor and everything. So what eventually happens is Julie gets out her science book and she's like, so is this the is this the Michael you were talking about? And pretty much Drago's like, yes, that's the guy I saw. Now there's interesting events. One, Marucho's like, oh, that's Dr. Mike, that's Dr. Michael Gabak. Now when we cut over to Alice, she has an interesting reaction to this news, and when she sees Dr. Michael, and she looks very upset and shocked of like, wait, what is going on? I'll explain that in a few seconds. But pretty much, Dr. Michael was the person that helped Naga twist his mind, apparently, and gave him the card that he was able to help transport pretty much, traverse dimensions to get to the Silent Core, or the Infinity Core and the Silent Core. But obviously things happen and stuff like that. So because of this, now the Brawlers know who the main antagonists are, who they need to stop, and what they need to do. And Drago pretty much says we need to not only stop Masquerade and Dr. Michael and Naga from getting their hands on what they need to get, but we need to find the Infinity Core and put an end to this whole nonsense, put everything back to normal, so then the world of Vestrioa doesn't collapse upon itself and affect your own world. So that's pretty much the objective. Stop Masquerade, Dr. Michael, and Naga from getting their hands on the Infinity Core, bring the Infinity Core back to Vestrioa, and as well as do the same thing with the Silent Core to be able to bring balance back to Vestrioa. So that's the whole idea, that's their whole plan, and that's kind of what the first season is pretty much about, and that's what sets up your main villains right then and there, which are Dr. Michael, Dr. Michael, Naga, and Masquerade, and stuff like that. So yeah, that's the whole thing there. Now, the one interesting tidbit after the voice chat, Alice pretty much looks at a picture, and apparently we find out she knows Dr. Michael, and she knows her in a familiar way because that is her grandfather, and she is shocked that her grandfather is doing something so very devious. Now, she does not tell this to the Brawlers. As of now, she has not told this information to the Brawlers. Now, you particularly know what it's like when you come to these anime shows when these characters hide this very big tidbit from said other characters. Anyways, episode ends off with the fact that we focus on Masquerade, and he's looking pretty much at the overview of the battle of what the Brawlers have been doing, and pretty much he's like, well, seems like they're getting a lot stronger and stuff like that, huh? But we need to get stronger as well so we can start to evolve our Bakugan, which evolution is a very huge topic in terms of this series. In the meantime, we have this individual come from the wall named Hal G, which apparently he was referenced way back at the start in the first couple of episodes. But the interesting part of this Hal G character is he looks like Dr. Michael. So apparently we're led to believe that Dr. Michael is taking some sort of persona called Hal G. Don't know why. We have to find out as the time passes by. Pretty much says, well, our goal is to get the Infinity Core and everything and pretty much rule the world and stuff like that. So yeah, that's kind of the thing there. And yeah, but that pretty much gives you the plot to what the first season really truly revolves around here. Which, honestly, if you ask me, it's fairly early that they're introducing it this early on. And I think in total of the original series, there's 52 episodes. But hey, They get right to the plot. You explain who your antagonists are, and it's, you know, it's pretty much like it's go time. We have to do whatever we can to find the Infinity Core, bring it back to our world, and pretty much have everything go back to normal, and stuff like that. So this was actually a fairly jam-packed episode in terms of content we got here. You not only get the climax to the Jenny versus Jewelz battle, but you also get kind of more than likely the plan the Brawlers have to do to save the world. And mind you, these are like 12, 13-year-old kids, which I find, honest to God, hilarious how 12 to 13-year-old kids pretty much have to save not only their world, but the world of the Bakugan, which, yeah, it's an interesting side point, because if this was real life, there's no way kids are pretty much in charge of trying to save the world. But yeah, that's the thing there and everything. Yeah, so the next episode, based on the next episode preview, Alice is actually gonna meet Dan, Marucho, and Runo and the others in person for the first time. But Marucho and Runo end up, well, they're getting stuck in a battle with, again, more cronies that end up becoming hired hitmen for Masquerade. Like I said, this doesn't stop, and things like that. But yeah, that's the whole interesting thing. And yeah, so pretty much so far, the Brawlers are going to be ending up meeting each other in person. So after that episode, there'll only be 2 episodes down. But anyways, guys, if you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts on, well, this episode of Bakugan Battle Brawlers, as well as hit the subscribe button if you want to get more Bakugan Battle Brawlers content or any other anime content you want uploaded to the channel. Anyways, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Till then, guys, peace.